Asher is a grade A student at his private high school in Texas. He is on honor roll every year, has a 3.8 GPA, takes honors in AP courses, and holds many leadership positions at his school. He also has a part-time job at Walmart and is a member of the varsity basketball team. Now, Asher has always wanted to attend Auburn University as it is a legacy in his family. So when he found out that the average entry ACT score for college freshmen was anywhere from a 24 to a 30, he was devastated, as he has only received a 22. Even though concerned, his parents still encouraged him to apply. Long story short, Asher did not get into Auburn University. Even though this is a fictional story, many stories like this are told around the States every year. I can attest as one of those storytellers, as I myself was declined acceptance to a university for the sole reason of my ACT score. Like myself, many people strongly agree that the ACT and other standardized tests are not only an accurate way to gauge a student's intelligence, but they also are attributed unreasonably high weight in the college eye. Today I hope to show you why the ACT and other standardized tests should not be given in schools at all, and a possible alternative to the problem. Let's begin by addressing the problem that the ACT and other standardized tests create. Now, what are the qualities and abilities that employers seek in their employees? As Jenna Donnell, a Viewpoint writer, puts it, in the real world, ACT tests are not applicable to jobs. People prepare presentations, manage employees, and communicate with other people along with many other skills at work. These abilities are not represented by choosing A, B, C, or D with a number 2 pencil in 35 minutes. Now, these are qualities and abilities that Asher has attained from maintaining good grades, having leadership positions in his school and in the workplace, and being on the varsity basketball team. In fact, according to Susan Adams at Forbes.com, the 10 skills employers say they seek do include the ability to work on a team, the ability to plan, organize and prioritize work, and communicate verbally inside and outside of the organization. Asher is definitely qualified to be hired in the workplace, so why didn't he get accepted to further his education? In case you didn't have to take the ACT in high school, the ACT tests you on English, reading, math, and science. It is timed, and your answers are multiple choice that must be filled out on a Scantron card. This leads us to the first problem, the Scantron card. According to the Educational Development Center, Scantron issues can be caused by the card being damaged or bent, not using a number 2 pencil, shading errors, jumped columns or rows, offset answers, and severe incomplete erasing. Not only can these errors happen, but for learning to occur, students need to see what they got wrong and why, which the ACT does not provide, as you don't even get the grade back until months later. As a result, these tests are used more to monitor rather than to teach. Even though grading errors do occur, these are not the only problems that the ACT causes. Wasted time, loads of money, stress, and teaching to the test are all problems that the ACT causes. The main issue, though, being time. Time teachers and students spend learning the backhand of the ACT and how to pass it rather than learning valuable information. For example, elementary school students this year will spend more time taking state standardized tests than the law school student spends taking the bar exam, says Chris Taken, an author on the subject. The time spent learning prep strategies, taking ACT prep courses, and reading books on how to decode the ACT all take away from the point the test is meant to prove, intelligence. Chris Taken words it perfectly by saying, grades and high school grade point average generally predict college readiness and persistence through college more accurately than the SAT. Report cards and grade point average measure years of work. Standardized tests measures 1 day. Teachers are having to teach the test and specifically cover information on previous tests in fear of their jobs. As soon as students don't do well in the ACT, the first to get blamed are the teachers. If we didn't have this incredibly invasive test glooming over our high school students, they would be exposed to more information and allowed more creative thinking time. All right, so now that we've established that the ACT is an accurate way of gauging our students' intelligence, how do we fix it? The answer is grades. The grades that students work every year to earn. As Jenna Donnell, the earlier mentioned writer, puts it, colleges should focus more on grades, not standardized tests, because grades are a more accurate representation of a student's educational career. Grades are based on time management, meeting deadlines, and of course, completing the work. These skills are far more important than the ability to guess and fill in a circle. In fact, in my own ACT prep course, our instructor our instructor suggested that to guess, if nothing else, because guessing and not answering at all both count against you, so why not take a chance? In work and in life, guessing causes major penalties, so why are we teaching our students to blindly choose? Now, for this change to happen, I do realize a lot of things would have to happen. All the schools will need to cover the same basic material through all 4 years, and this is going to have to be closely monitored by the school district. Colleges still need to know exactly what students know, so that would have to find an alternative as well. Students will need to be held to higher learning standards and actually understand the information taught, which is also really difficult to manage. I also understand that GPA holds different weight at different schools. Kids do cheat and slide by other means, which is another problem to fix, but we can figure this out. The more time spent simply acknowledging that there's a problem and not acting on it is a waste of our students' time. But none of this can happen unless we take the AC out of our students' lives. I am calling for the removal of the ACT out of all schools in America. We can do this by petitioning and bringing the problem to a variety of school boards. If we can convince the colleges themselves that the ACT and standardized tests are an inefficient way of gauging our students' intelligence, then we can begin the way the colleges accept their students into their schools. An alternative to the ACT would be to begin by putting more weight on GPA instead of the ACT. Then eventually, we could build a new test from the ground up, which would be a multi-day, multi-topic exam that would provide colleges with a better gauge. This would take place of the inefficient, one-day, 4-topic exam currently in place. If we accomplish this challenge, then our kids will be free to learn all kinds of valuable information instead of focusing on this nuisance. In conclusion, now that we know that the ACT and other standardized tests are not actually testing our students' intelligence, let's make a difference and end this unfair testing. There are a lot of bumps in the road ahead, so let's get started now and stop teaching to the test and begin expanding on creativity and lifelong learning. Thank you.